Welcome to episode 29 of the Unemployed Journeyman with Fukushima United here in the J3 League, or soon to be the J2 League. We got promoted at the end of last season in Friday's episode, and this transfer special is an episode where we really need to get a squad that's a lot better than what it is at the moment. So let's go and see what we can do. So here's the table in case you missed it in Friday's episode. And yeah, we finished second, a point behind our fierce local rivals Iwaki. And in the playoffs, you've got Brian Veka, Mito, Toyama and Ryuku. So one of them four teams will be coming up with us. Now, when we look at the team we've got at the moment, our obvious weakness is really in defence. We concede too many goals really, and attacking wise, I think we're actually excellent attacking wise. I think we've got the joint best attacking record. We've actually got one of the best defensive records as well. So maybe when you look at the stats side of it, our defensive record isn't quite as bad. However, here's what I'm thinking. So if we go to the finances, we've got £1 million in the transfer budget. We've got 42,000 in the wage budget, pretty much, which means once we get down to our committed spending being our current spending, we'll have around £17,000 to bring new players in. Now, we will be looking mainly at free transfers. So we will be looking at putting a lot of this transfer budget into the wage budget to see what we can bring in. And what I'm also kind of thinking as well is that at the moment, my reputation as a manager, if we come to my actual profile, I'm a 1.5 star manager. My attributes have improved a little bit. I'm a national A licensed manager, and I think we might need to be looking for another job, because I kind of think I would like to move on while my stock is high, and it's not going to get much higher than getting promotion from the J3 League to the J2 League at this point in the save. What I don't want to do is have a really terrible season in the J2 League with Fukushima. I end up getting the sack, and although my reputation won't be harmed as such, my stock will not be as high. So we will be looking at some jobs throughout the course of this transfer specials. I'll show you bits and pieces here and there, and obviously if I apply for anybody or any jobs, I will let you know. Now, one that did interest me, and I don't know if any of you out there have ever managed in the Mexican leagues, but I looked at Morelia in the Mexican Expansion League, and I kind of looked at it and was like, what is the Mexican Expansion League? And it turns out, from what I can see, it's the top division in Mexico, because below it you've got, sorry, let's go back. You then got, so I think the Mexican First Division might be the highest one. But if you come back down, what is going on here? Can we get back to the league I want to get to, please? Thank you very much. So yeah, you've got the Expansion L closing stage league table, the Expansion opening stage, L opening stage, and the Expansion L opening stage league table. And you click on there, and then you've got all of these as well. I mean, this seems like an incredibly strange league. It will probably just blow. I mean, Morelia, who currently have a job available, in the Expansion L opening stage league table, they finished top, 29 points, 3 points clear of the next team. Where they go into on this, I have absolutely no idea. There's semi-finals, quarterfinals and finals. But then you've got the closing stage where they're currently 7th. Well, they haven't played any games yet, but they will be 7th. This looks a very odd league. It really does. If I go there, it's safe to say I will end up getting very, very confused. So probably won't end up going there. There are other jobs available in the J2 League. Miyazaki, for example, they are available. J3 League, Ahim and Kagoshima. Obviously, we're not looking at going to the J3 League. If we look at, say, the Polish First Division, you've got Wisla Plock, for example. Now, like I say, we're 1.5 star reputation. If we go to the Polish First Division and look at them, they're 53rd in this table. So their league is a 2-star reputation league. If we look at the clubs, I forgot who the club was now. Who are we looking at? Wisla Plock, that's the one. Right, let's get back to where we were. Whistler Plock. They're in this one here. And where have I gone? Where have I gone? Here we go. List. Whistler Plock. So they're going to be, I imagine, very low down. So let's see if we can kind of filter it. There doesn't seem to be any Polish leagues on here. Let's just try and filter it this way. There's probably a far more crisper way of doing this, but anyway. So that's Whistler Plock second. So that's their second team. Whistler Plock, here we go. So they're a 2.5-star reputation team. So are they worth going for a job with? I mean, I must admit, now I've seen where they are. The first of it, do they have a Premier League or is that the top division? So I think that's their top division. So I recognise the likes of Legia, for example. And then after this, well, that's some under 19. So yeah, it looks like we're in, what would be the equivalent of the J2 League, I suppose, but just with a higher reputation. So yeah, Whistler Plock. I mean, if we look at them, they've got 15,000 capacity stadium at the Orland Stadion. Is it Whistler Plock or Whistler Plock? Let me know if you know. I mean, they only have £6 as their average ticket price. They've got a lot of legends and icons and favoured personnel. I mean, have a look at those. If there's anyone in there that you recognise, let me know. And I mean, there's no point really looking at players. We're not going to be able to see anything about them. But I don't know. That's something I'm keeping. I don't think we'll get the job. I'll be quite honest because of their reputation. But I'll certainly keep an eye on it for sure. Right, let's just go to the inbox quickly, take care of some business here. We have the supporter profile here, hasn't changed. The supporters influence on the board, 4 stars is high. We have gained 2,000 social media followers. We've not had the end of season review yet. That is still to come. So the end of next season, they want us to attempt to avoid relegation from the J2 League, which basically means if we get relegated, we'll probably still be safe with our job. So we'll accept all this. It's what we're working towards anyway. Here's the dynamic. Dressing room atmosphere is good. Managerial support is very good. Akiyama is their team leader. We've got some highly influentials and then some influential players. End of season team meeting. This will be an interesting one. Thank you all for coming. So everyone seems quite positive except for Nagai. Right, let's talk about our J2 League games for next season. We want to say we're going to attempt to... Oh, blimey, there's a lot of options here. Promotion, blah, 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 blah. No, we're not. No. Just give it... How's there so many different options? I mean, I'm so happy with promotion, but I know how hard it will be playing at a high level. With that in mind, I'll be strengthening the squad to help. Oh, I don't think I should have done this meeting. I want you all to know that I'm not going to be sticking with them. Because some of them are going to be leaving. We'll just go for this one. Oh, okay. Right. Brilliant. That's just what I wanted to hear. That's all for now. We get out of the room. We've left them on a good note. Injury season report. Sawakami has been out the most with 5 injuries. I mean, the injuries are what the injuries are. I'm sure by now you've all seen the notification from Football Manager that they're going to be having the Premier League fully licensed for FM25. Right, we're going to have a training camp. We're basically staying at home. I'm sure that's going to throw them. Yeah, so they're going to be having the Premier League fully licensed in FM25, along with like their new match engine they already previously announced. There's going to be women's football in there as well. I think FM25 is going to be absolutely incredible. Let me know what you think, if you're excited about the addition to having the Premier League licence. I know people put in face packs and badge packs and whatever else, but now it just means you don't have to. It's all just genuinely there, and there'll be other benefits for it as well. Right, staffing numbers, we get a head performance analyst and a performance analyst. That's actually pretty handy because that will help with our coaching side of things. So we'll wait till we tick over to the J2 League before we actually do that. That's the end of that. Right, what I will do is I will play forward as far as it's like a 4-month pre-season in the J League. It's absolutely incredible. It's so long. Right, I'll fast forward as much as I can until I get to the end of season review, and I'll bring you back for that. Okay, so this isn't the end of season review, but we've just had an email come through. Literally, I think we're still on the same day. Fukushima have agreed to rent this athletic stadium next season as after their promotion to the J2 League. The Fukushima stadium, the current stadium they were renting, does not meet the J2 League minimum requirements. It was built in 2025. The all-seater stadium has room for 15,474 supporters with the potential to be expanded to a capacity of 19,000. I mean, we were only just about scraping 1,000. If we look at our schedule for this season, take a home game. I mean, we had 2,000 against our local rivals, to be fair. 1,300, 1,200. That was, wow, 2,500 against Sendai. 1,000, 1,001, 1,003, 1,003. So, yeah, I mean, what was our... We can find out here. Our average attendance was 1,439, which means we were the 4th worst in the league. So, if we have a look at the facilities... So, it's in Koriyama. I have no idea where that is in context of Fukushima. We're going to be paying £27,000 per year to rent it. Built in 2025. It's owned by the council. It's poor condition. It's brand new. We're in 2025 now. And apparently it is in poor condition. It's got no undersoil heating and no roof. I mean, probably wouldn't expect it to. Pitch condition is good. I mean, there's quite a few competitions go on there. But it's literally only us that are here. How is the condition of the stadium poor when it's literally just been built this year? Wow. Okay, so average corporate facilities, basic training facilities, basic youth facilities, fairly basic academy and youth down there. So, yeah, we have now moved into a new stadium. We're charging £11 for a ticket, £283 for a season ticket. Oh, look, I've only just noticed that. Hiroto Yuki is an icon at this club. Oh, that fills my heart with joy. Yotaro Sakada is a favourite. I'm not even on the favoured personnel. I've just got us promoted. I'm a little bit annoyed about that, I have to admit. Okay, we are going to be letting some players go as well. If I just show you what we're doing. Our backup goalkeeper, we have offered him a new contract because we pay him to sit there on the bench. He's decent enough to come in if we get an injury. But with Suzu, Shibata, Okinawa, Nagana and Lee and Jay, we have decided to let them go, even though it is against some of the recommended actions from our director of football. So, yeah, right, let's go on to the end of season review. So, finally, we have an end of season review. I say finally for you, it's been no time at all, but for me, I've been playing this game. We've gone through the whole of December and we're now into the beginning of January before we've actually got the end of season review. But anyway, I'll stop moaning. Let's get into it. New arrivals. Takagi has gone down as their star sign. He did actually get an award for the most valuable player of the season in the J3 League. He did get quite a slow start with injuries and form and whatever else, but in the end, 37 appearances, 21 goals, 4 assists. I mean, that's pretty decent going. 7.37. Fujioka, who was a bit of a superhero for us in the end, and all these are free transfers. 14 starts, 27 sub appearances, so what's that, 41 in total. 7 goals, 6 assists at 7.11. His rating, more than anything, considering the amount of sub appearances he's had, suggests that he's actually been very decent for us. Iwabuchi as well. He was good. He was really, really good. 38 appearances, 6 goals, 12 assists at 7.05. Miyazaki with 31 appearances, 10 goals, 4 assists at 6.94. He was decent. He started off well, but kind of lost his way a little bit afterwards. Kaito Umeda, I actually really like Kaito Umeda. 8 goals, 6 assists from 42 appearances at 6.93. He was very useful at some key times for us, and he could also play out on the right as well. Masaya Kojima, right back, 43 appearances, 1 goal, 13 assists at 6.90. Kamamura in their central midfield, 45 starts, 2 goals, 5 assists, a 6.88. He was an absolute regular for us, Kamamura. We moved down the list. Oliver Pufflet, I've been a bit disappointed, I'm not going to lie. 19 appearances, just 5 goals, no assists, 6.88. Ranjiro Machida from Rheinberg, 41 appearances, 1 goal, 2 assists at 6.81. Mishima, 40 appearances, 3 goals, 2 assists at 6.77. And Fukushima, backup goalkeeper, was just 1 substitute appearance basically and got a 6.60 for that. So we're not going to bother looking at all of this because most of it is dependent on the finances involved in the deal and all that sort of stuff. In terms of transfers out, I mean, we don't really do transfers out, but we did have Kento Awano, who went out for £250,000, Uata, who went out for 8.25,000, and the rest of them are just freebies, basically. We have let Shibata, Nagano, Lee and Jay, and Akaniwa leave the club as well. In terms of the season's results, for the J3 League, they wanted us to reach the playoffs. Our final position was second. Takagi was our top goal scorer. He also made Team of the Year along with Yoshimaru, our goalkeeper, and I forget the name of our left back now, Akiyawa or something like that. He got in there anyway. So he had a good season at left back. In the Japanese League Cup, we got knocked out in the second round by Vissel Kobe. And in the All Japan Cup, we got to the third round, I believe it was. Yeah, first, second, third. Knocked out by Nagoya Grampus. And we played really well in that game. I was really proud of that. They were happy with where we got as well. The biggest win was a 6-0 win against Matsui. The match to remember was a 4-0 win against our local rivals Iwaki, who also ended up winning the league, it's worth mentioning as well. And there's what I'm saying, Umeda coming in with a couple of important goals. Iwabuchi as well and Amari. And goal of the season was Kamamura, great strike from the Fukushima defensive midfielder as he scores a deftly executed finish from 20 metres. Then we go to the finances. Sponsorship, by looks of it, stayed the same even though it's in the red and says gone down. The broadcast revenue slightly down. Corporate and hospitality slightly up. Competition prize money, we actually got some of that this season, unlike last season. And matchday commercial and retail has gone up ever so slightly as well. No new sponsorship deals. We are now a 2-star reputation club, up from a 1.5-star club. So it's worth bearing that in mind if we do end up looking for another job. Which, by the way, I'm not saying I want to look for another job, but it's just if this transfer window goes badly, it's something we might need to look at. Our team of the season, let's have a look and see if we agree. Yoshimaru in goal, Akiyama, our left back. I don't think I've done too badly with trying to remember that. Kojima right back, Machida and Amori in the middle. I don't agree with that because Machida didn't play in the centre of defence for us. That was Lee and Jay that played in there, but maybe because Lee and Jay's been released, they've just chucked him in there instead of Suzu, or I don't know. Mishima and Kamamura in the centre midfield. Sakada and Iwabuchi out wide with Takagi and Umeda up top. And I think the fact that these two guys here are both in the green, Takagi in the green, Umeda nearly in the green, and Akiyama getting down here, feeding some opportunities. If we have a look at this, he only actually picked up 6 assists in comparison to Kojima, who's a more attacking fullback, picking up 13 assists. So you do kind of wonder what we might be able to achieve if we had both fullbacks on attack. But then I think we would definitely suffer defensively on that as well. It seems to be the right balance. If you have a fullback on attack, you have the man in front of them on support. If you have this man then on support, you have this man on attack. Kind of works. So yeah, that other than the centre of defence, I think I pretty much agree with the rest of it. In terms of record breakers, Akito Takagi, most goals by a player in a match with 4 goals. Most assists by a player in the season, Kojima with 13. Most clean sheets by a player in the season is Yoshimaru with 13. Most player of the match awards in the season is Takagi with 10. And highest transfer fee received is Kento Awano for £250,000. In terms of the player awards, fans player of the season is Akito Takagi. Young player of the season is Yutaro Sakada. Probably the last season he can qualify for that at 24 years of age. Sign of the season, Takagi. Goal of the season, Kamamura. I always thought he was going to be sign of the season. When things started and he started off injured and not in great form and things like that, I just then thought it was going to be a bit of a disaster. Top goal scorer, Takagi with 21 goals. Most assists, Kojima with 13. Most player of the match awards, Takagi with 10. Highest average rating, Takagi with 7.4. And most passes completed per 90 minutes, Kamamura with 45. And I won No Manager of the Month awards, which is not really a surprise. Fukushima looked a class above anyone else when they went for it late in the season. Few will have expected this outcome, but they merited it with the run of results at the end. And that's from the Fukushima Football Messenger. Pretty certain that's not a genuine newspaper, but we've also got the Japanese Football Messenger, who said Fukushima owed promotion to a rampant spell of form to finish the season. Nobody could keep pace. We did have a very good end to the season, it has to be said. The manager timeline is the manager of the timeline. I've made 100 games as Fukushima manager. And then we get back to here. Job security, we are secure. We've got a B from the board. We've got a B from the supporters. They're both pretty much aligned on that. Squad dynamics is pretty much as it was before. In our overall 11, Yoshimaru, Akiyama, Yamada, Lee and Jay and Matsunagane, Haragaya and Awano in the midfield with Zeki, Nobe, Sakada and Yajima in the forward positions. They're still doing this as a 4-2-3-1. And yeah, I think that's it. So what I will do is we've had players obviously leave now. And as you can see, we've got gaps in the squad and whatever else. As I said previously, I want to improve our defence and also our central midfield as well. We're not good enough in there. I'm happy to leave the front guys as they are for the time being. So yeah, I'm now going to press on with, now that we're about to enter pre-season, once that ticks over and we're officially J2 League again, because at the moment it's still saying J3 League, then I'll start looking for players. I'll need to bring some staff in. We've let a load of those go. We need to bring in a director of football. We need to bring in, we've got nobody coaching at the club. We need, other than their set piece coach, we need to bring in 2 coaches and a goalkeeping coach. We need to bring in a head performance analyst and a performance analyst. And we need a physio and a head physio. So I'll be getting those done as well. And I'll just bring you back, dipping in and out, as of when we've got some more news for you. Okay, so it looks like we're going to be on the lookout for a new goalkeeper. We'll get to that in a moment. We can see it there. But Sawakami has gone. We had an offer of 2.1 thousand. He only had another year left on his contract. So we thought, might as well get him in. He's not good enough for the J2 League. He's barely good enough for the J3 League, to be fair. He's 32 years old as well. And the £2,000, we can probably use that as a wage for a new player. But Yoshimaru, first of all, we come to saying he was looking at considering his options at the end of his contract. He's in his last year. So we accepted that. And then he's, like a couple of days later, he's come to us saying that he wants to move to a bigger club. So we've agreed that £190,000 will get the job done. And yeah, our 4-star goalkeeper, who I have given a lot of criticism to, shall we say, looks like he's going to be moving on. So we will be on the lookout for a new goalkeeper, and we need to get a good one as well, because to be fair to him, I was probably a bit unfair previously. He is a very good goalkeeper. I'm starting to think that we're going to struggle with getting the players in. Pre-season is just about starting now. If we look at our schedule, it's still not ticked over yet to the new season. We have got a few friendlies in place. We will get more than this because the season don't start till March anyway. So we'll get a few more friendlies put in as well. And we can probably now start looking at some players. And if we come over here, what I do want to do actually is I want to get this sorted out. I want to have surrounding divisions as my scouting budget. And that's sorted out. So we've got a scouting budget now. We'll probably up this to 7. Oh, didn't want to go that high. Okay, we'll leave it at that. We've got £153,000 transfer budget, so we can probably do East Asia as a transfer budget, to be fair. So there you go. We've got an East Asian transfer budget, covers players in our region. See what that brings in. Maybe it brings in something a little bit better. If we go into players in range, and we've got goalkeeper highlighted here. Yeah, one of them's a goalkeeper. Keep it as unattached, and straight away my attention has been drawn down here to Yuta Nobe. 27. He's not a goalkeeper. I have got goalkeeper. Yeah, goalkeeper. Position is natural at a goalkeeper. Unattached. Okay. And we've got all this showing. Where are the goalkeepers? Am I missing something on here that I've just not ticked? Because for me, it should just be goalkeepers. Right, here we go. So is there anybody on here? I mean, yeah. Right, let's just bring in a handful of goalkeepers on trial. Offer trial to them all, get them all in, see what they like. And what we'll do is we just skip forward while you're here. I'll keep you around for it. Code of conduct, yeah, we'll stick with that. Monthly staff meeting to my inbox. And then let's just start bringing all of these in on trial. I'll say all of them, there's not a great deal, probably about 10 to 15 of them. And we can at least have a look at what they're like. So here we've got Riku Umeda, who's 2.5 star with 5-star potential, apparently. I doubt he's going to reach that 5 stars. But he doesn't look too bad, it has to be said. That one's a no. That one is probably a no as well because he's just not got enough current ability. I mean, they've got to have some sort of current. I mean, again, he don't look too bad. He's 27 years old, so I don't think he's going to reach that potential. But he could be fairly decent. Let's move on to the next one. That's a no. That's a no, probably. Again, that's probably a no. It's a fringe player. I mean, there's not a great deal out there. As we said, two star with potential to be 5-star. He's 25 years old. I mean, there's a few that we might look at. I mean, he actually looks a lot better. 3.5 stars. He's 31 years old though, but he does look a lot better. And I think we might actually be looking at bringing him in. So what we might do is add him to our shortlist. And then that way, if we decide we want to bring him in, we can. But yeah, that's the kind of thing I'm going to be doing now for other positions within the club. So once these have gone from their trial, we'll then bring in some defenders and a couple of midfielders and just see what comes along. Okay, so I've applied for a few jobs. Now, I never apply for these jobs thinking I stood any chance of getting them because they're like 2.5 to 3. In Colo's case, they were like 3.5 star reputation teams. But I just wanted to just put some feelers out there just to see what would happen. And Santa Clara play in the Portuguese second league. If we look at that, you've got the Premier League just above it, so it's just below the Premier League, basically. They've turned us down immediately. Can we just get back to our inbox, please? We put in our application, they just said, no, not interested. Same with Colo. We have applied for a job with IK Sirius, who are in the Swedish Premier Division. Again, I don't have any hope of us getting this job, but I just wanted to see whereabouts we actually stood with this kind of thing. They've not outright rejected us, so that's one bonus, I suppose. And Bodo Glimt is another one who obviously play in the Norwegian Premier League. I would like to manage in the Norwegian leagues at some point, I must admit. I have kind of got that as a bucket list type thing for this series. So they've received their applications. They've not rejected us instantly. Whether we get an interview or not, I don't know, but I'll let you know if we do. I won't show you every interview I do as well, by the way. We've done a video on interviews. Go back and look at that if you are interested in that, which quite a few of you are, to be fair, because it's got some decent views to it. But I'll let you know whether we get an interview and whether we're successful or unsuccessful. But like I say, I don't imagine for a second we're going to get Bodo Glimt or IK Sirius. I just want to see if, like with this one, we know they rejected us. No point going for that kind of job again, or not for the time being at least. And yeah, if we do get an interview, obviously we then find out whether we get a job or not. Okay, so we're getting towards the end of this episode now. We're almost at the start of the new season. I just thought I'd apply for my Continental C licence, and they rejected it. So I came to speak to them and said to them I'd like to further my development. And their reply is, we have to be selfish here. We fear that if you continue to make that sort of progress, the club could lose you to bigger and better opportunities. Now, in one respect, I don't blame them for being selfish because they obviously want to keep me here. They don't want to lose me. But I also have to kind of look at being a bit selfish as well. So the options I've got is I accept it. I can't pretend that I'm not disappointed, but I do understand, which in a way I kind of am at that space. Convince, you have to see this as something that will be of benefit to the entire club and not just me. I don't know how me getting a Continental C licence is going to benefit the club, but there you go. If this request isn't granted, I can see the club being left behind by our rivals. Again, I don't see that's true. I thought the board would show more ambition than this, and I'm very disappointed. Yeah, maybe. Insist, I really can't stress enough how important I believe this to be, or threaten, if you don't grant this request, I'm not certain that I'll be able to carry on in my job. I'm not going to go for that one because there isn't a whole host of jobs waiting for me. I've not had anyone come in for me or anything like that. I'm kind of wanting to say I thought the board would show more ambition than this, and I'm very disappointed. And I kind of am looking at, I really can't stress enough how important I believe this to be. I think I'm going to go for that one. Now, I've not been in this position before, so I don't know if me insisting is going to cause me to lose my job or not. But I'm going to do it anyway. Clearly this initiative is close to your heart and your continued devotion to the cause is impressive. After considering what you said, we have decided to grant your request. Oh, wow. We're glad we've had such a productive meeting here. You know where to find us if you want to talk about anything else. Do you know what? I think I love Fukushima even more now. They're actually going to let me do my coaching qualification, I'm on a national A licence at the moment. I'll then become a Continental C licence. And the way it's going to take 4 months at a cost of £768 covered by Fukushima. What I kind of am thinking as well is that if I get my Continental, once I've got my Continental C licence, the opportunities of being able to work somewhere else other than Japan might then open. I've not actually looked at jobs, but if we have a look now, I mean, I have filtered England out of this, by the way, but if we have a look at it, there's not really a great deal here that interests me at the moment that I think I might go. I mean, I'm not going to get Girona in the Spanish First Division. I doubt I'm going to get a job in the Jupiler Pro League. But yeah, I'm happy we've been given our opportunity there. So what we'll do is we'll have a quick look at some transfer business and whatever else. This is obviously the league we're in. If we have a look at our schedule, I mean, pre-season, by the way, has been awful. Other than the 4-0 loss to Tokyo Verdy, who are a J1 league team, most of the teams we played actually are J1 league. Crozeo and YSCC Yokohama are Nippon league teams, the league below the J3 league. But other than that, they are all... Oh, actually, no. Ahim are J3, and I think Yokohama... No, they're J1 Yokohama. Mito, that's the one. They're J3 as well. So there are games there we really should have won. Oliver Perfleet has got a couple of goals. You'll see a few new names in there as well, which we'll get to in a moment. But yeah, pre-season has not been great. We've had a couple of players that are currently very unhappy. And if we look at dynamics, club atmosphere is now good. It was poor not that long ago. But we've got Kamamura and Mishima, two central midfielders. We've accepted transfer offers for them. We basically asked the agent to generate interest. They did. We're going to get about £140,000 in total for the two of them. So yeah, they're happy. You've got Miyazaki, Mishima and Umeda are unhappy that they were left out of the training camp squad. Basically, I clicked the auto select include youth, and out of 40 players it selected 18 and left a whole load of the first team out. No idea why. That will also explain why we lost some of our pre-season games as well. But team cohesion is good, managerial support is very good, club atmosphere is good. So it's all green at the moment. It's all in a good position. But if we get to transfers, we've got nobody else waiting to come in. If we go to the transfer outs, there are a couple. There is a player. No, that's all done. So basically, we've spent £400,000. We've actually paid for two players, and we've got 650 gone out. The big one really is that Yaturu Sakada, our big top goal scorer, has gone to Sendai, which I don't understand, in the J3 league for £450,000. They originally offered 390 for him. We said, give us 450, you can have him. He's actually got a value of up to 1.3 million now. But yeah, he's gone, and he's probably the best player we've ever had at this club. Goalkeeper Kenshin Yoshimaru, who's going to leave on a free at the end of the season anyway. We have bought in a replacement. He's gone for £190,000. Then we've got $7,000 for the other central midfielder we brought in for last season, Ranjiro Machida, and obviously the 2.1k for Sawakami, meaning $650,000. We're actually net minus 250. In terms of players coming in, there's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 players that we've brought in. We start from the top. Shuei Kawata, 31-year-old goalkeeper. He is our number one goalkeeper at the moment and will be for the season. He's not too much of a downgrade on Yoshimaru either. Star rating wise, it does look like it, but otherwise he's not. Hiroya Matsumoto, 25-year-old. He can play either in the defensive midfield role or at left back, and he can do both to equal standard as well. So he's going to be very useful to have around. And he's had out of everybody, he's probably had the most impressive, or one of the most impressive of the pre-seasons. Then we've got Yoshiki Matsushita, who is another defensive midfielder, 31 years old. He comes in, he's pretty decent. I'm quite happy with him. Genki Agawa, really happy with him. He's 3 stars. He can play anywhere along the back four, all to the same standard, basically. And as you see, even if he's in the full-back, wing-back positions, he can cross a ball. He's got a bit of acceleration about him as well. 25 years old. Yeah, like I say, really, I'm actually really happy with pretty much all of them, bar probably one, which is probably Jinoya Suzuki, is probably the one that I'm not that happy with. But anyway, Pedro comes in, 3-star current ability, 4-star potential, 22-year-old Brazilian. He does take up one of our foreign player caps. I mean, he's yellow for first touch, he's yellow for passing, he's yellow for leadership. He looks pretty decent. I'm a bit uncertain about his height, 5'7", but you know, you don't really have a 5'7" centre back in my eyes. But with 16 leadership, he is also our new captain. He was in on a free as well. Jada Martinez came in basically as a Cicada replacement, and I don't think we've done too badly, to be fair. 20-year-old Colombian. As a winger, he's 3.5 star. Yeah, he just looks decent, doesn't he? Then Mateus Sandoval comes in on the right side, 4 stars, 28-year-old Argentinian. Again, just looks decent, can play as a striker if he wants to. He's got probably better finishing than most of our strikers anyway, with a 12, so quite happy with him. Then we have Yasuki Kobayashi, who is coming. We've actually paid a fee for him. He's coming for £140,000 as a defensive midfielder, can play slightly further forward as well. Likes to be a deep line playmaker. We needed a deep line playmaker, so we've brought him in, 31-year-old as well. Then we get Janiya Suzuki, who at the time he was 3.5 stars according to our scouts. When we brought him in, he's 2.5 stars. He can act as decent enough cover at right back. He's here for basically this season, and we'll let him go after that. 30 years old. It does mean that Kojima, who is our normal right back, can also play at left back as well, so we can play Kojima at left back if Akiyama or whoever is not available. So it's just a bit of defensive depth, really. Then Nagi Matsumoto, who we've just brought in, 3.5 star with 4-star potential, 24-year-old Japanese lad, and yeah, plays in the ball-winning midfielder role, can do the deep line playmaker role as well, can also step forward into the middle if we need him to. So we've done really well with our midfield reinforcements, I think. And if we look at the transfer centre on the outs, Kamamura and Mishima are currently in contract talks with League, or J3, I was going to say League 3, but J3 teams. If we have a look at how much they earn, Kamamura is on £1,000 a week. Mishima's on, I think, £1,900 a week. Yeah, £1,900 a week. So that's nearly £3,000 in the wages we've saved. Plus, we get £146,000 in our finances. In terms of the finances, we still have £767,000 or £768,000 in the transfer budget. We still have a couple of £1,000 left in the wage budget. That'll expand even more. So there is still room to bring players in. But when we look at the team that we're likely to be starting the first game of the season with, we've got, I mean, there's a lot of changes in this team. We've got Kawata in goal. Matsumoto, who can play as a ball-winning midfielder, where the other Matsumoto, this is going to get confusing. Matsumoto left back, Agawa right back, Amori and Pedro in the centre of defence. I think the defence is looking better, I've got to say. We have still got Kojima and Akiyama available as well. Kobayashi and the other Matsumoto in our midfield, so that's a whole new midfield. Only Amori has survived from the back five as well. Martinez and Sandoval completely new out wide. And then Takagi and Pufflet at the moment up top. I'm not convinced by Pufflet, I've got to admit. And as things stand at the moment, we've got 4 foreign players in our first team. Nobody else here. So we are really at a limit for foreign players that we can get. I was looking for another centre-back, another right-back, a striker, that sort of thing. But the ones that are of a decent standard that are available would be foreign. So, yeah, we have to limit ourselves. We only allow 4 in our first team squad at least. I'm not sure if we can have 5 in our overall squad, but don't really matter. But what I'm even more impressed with is Kojima. I'm quite happy for him to play if one of these gets injured. Matashita, again, is one of their new signings that we can't fit in at the moment. More than happy to put him in. Umeda, we know he can do the job. Fujioka, as a temporary thing, can do a job. Iwabuchi can. Miyazaki can. Akiyama. Kawamura's obviously going. It's only really Shibata and Suzuki out of all of these that I would say is not first team ready. But I actually think not only do we have a decent team, we've actually got a really good squad ready for this season. If we have a look at our fixtures in the league and look at the season preview, I mean, they don't think we're going to finish bottom. You know, they think we're going to finish 18th, which I think would be in the playoff relegation slot. Ryuku, the other team that came up with us to finish one place above us. Iwaki, fascinatingly enough, are estimated to finish absolutely rock bottom. I don't take much notice of this because it is usually wrong. But in terms of the schedule, we've got Kumamoto, Akita and Shimizu in our first 2 games. If we have a look at where they are in the season preview, Kumamoto are down here. Shimizu are here. And Akita are down here as well. So Kumamoto and Akita, we've actually got 2 pretty decent games, judging by the season preview at least, to start the season off with. So it will be interesting to see how it goes. We've got G Osaka, who are in the J1 league in the first round of the League Cup. So 2 legs for that. Yeah, again, like I said last season, I'm going to stay positive and hopefully we can have a really good start to the season. If we can get a win for our first 2 games, I would be delighted with that. And yeah, I think that's pretty much all there is to show you. So let me know in the comments what you think of this transfer special. Do you think we brought in some good players? What players do you like from the ones that I've shown you? And where do you think we're going to finish this season? Do you think we can survive relegation? Because that is basically the aim. Attempt to avoid relegation. And if we can do that, if we can stay in the J2 league, then mission accomplished. So I'll see you tomorrow for the next episode, which will be the first 2 games of the season against Kumamoto and Akita. Thank you very much for watching. Bye-bye.